Today, I want to talk about how the banks protect themselves, risk management in these markets. And I know a lot of people ask me through the comments what I should do, what they should do, or what am I buying or anything. I'm not here to give advice. I'm here to let you make up your own mind about what you should do and try to give you the information that I have. But I'd like to say that the first time I ran into risk management on a global basis, and surprised me, I didn't know anything, to be honest with you. So my firm had just merged into a G-SIB. They weren't called G-SIBs in those days. They were just global banks, okay? It wasn't until 2008 that we renamed them and started putting more constraints on them. So anyway, I was airmailed into capital markets, a major global firm, and I was on a vertical learning curve. I was way over my skis, and I was having the best time of my life. And the Asian flu hit, and we're not talking about COVID. We're talking about the Asian flu currency problem. And so this is the first thing that happened. I was there like 2-3 weeks, and the Asian flu hits. And the Asian flu was really kind of like the first currency crisis in my career. And it involved 6 Asian countries, but this isn't their currencies. Their currencies were overvalued. They had to get revalued down, which revalued the debt, all the leverage that was out there. But most importantly, this is what happened to the 6 countries' GDP. And you can see the worst one there, which was Indonesia, went down almost 15%, okay? And you gotta think about something. In the great financial crisis, we went down 3%. 3%, think of that. They went down 15. So these people were hurt. So anyway, we had an all hands on deck meeting the morning afterwards. No one knew what was going on, and they gave us our instructions, and the head guy, incredibly intelligent man, said, hey, tonight I'm gonna be here all night to watch the store. And immediately I was like, I'm staying, okay? I don't care what happens, I'm gonna be here. And so that night I did stay, and we ended up together. So here's the guy, head of global risk and equities at my firm, and I got to sit there for 4 or 5 hours and ask him every question that I could ever possibly think of. So a couple things I learned that night. First thing was, he tells me, is that the book is 8 hours in New York, 8 hours in Asia, 8 hours in London. So the responsibility is passed along. It's one ledger, one electronic book, but who runs it? First New York, then Asia. In those days, Asia probably was Hong Kong, maybe even a little bit Japan. Today it's much more bifurcated. London was London in those days, but since they decided to do Brexit, Frankfurt and Paris are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. London's getting smaller and smaller. Huge mistake on their part. But anyway, so of course I was sitting there saying, well, what are we doing to manage the risk? What do you do? Are we telling people, I thought he'd be sitting there on the phone, sell this, buy this, do this. He's just sitting there waiting. And I go, what's going on? And he says, listen, Danny, he says, if you say we have CMBS, he says, if I have $1 billion worth of CMBS, he says, you don't sell $1 billion worth of CMBS. He said, that could be 200,000-300,000 names, CUSIPs, okay? So he says, really what it is, risk management starts at the beginning. So he says, first, what business are we in? He said, we're in the risk business. He said, we don't buy and sell stock. We don't bring out IPOs. We don't underwrite. That's the side thing we do. Number one thing is we are risk managers for ourselves and for our clients, okay? So he says, so what happens after that is, he says, we hire smart people, we put in rules. He said, remember something, we're dealing in multiple countries, multiple stock markets, multiple currencies, derivatives. The complexity is incredible. So he says, risk is done on the front end. He says, but what do we do on the back end? He says, I'll tell you. He says, I buy vol every day, all day, every day. The lower it goes, the more I buy. I buy it, and I buy it. He says, because I can't sell or hedge my positions. I can't. He says, there's too much out there. He says, so if the market goes kaflooey, some things go up, some things go down, but the one thing that always goes up is volatility. Up it goes. He said, then we sell it, and we offset any losses that we have with our volatility. This is great. It works all the way until everything goes down at the same time. Great financial crisis. All the vol in the world could not save you, okay? So when you're looking at yourself and you're saying, what are the things that I can do to protect myself in the market in case? One, you want to be in the market. I mean, the market's up 37%. Of course you want to be in the market, okay? You should be in the market. But what it is even though the market is up 37%, some things are up higher than others, some things are down lower, some things are down. The point being is we can't actually know all that stuff. So if you're going to put in a strategy to protect yourself, do it on the overall, okay? Don't do a specific security. That's the best way. Think like a firm. Manage your risk. There's two things in this world that you can try to control. Is how much taxes do you pay and how much risk do you take, right? That's all you have to do. Like and follow, and please let me know your comments. Thank you very much.